Good morning, everyone. Everybody, can you please come to the Facebook page so that we go through the latest updates? Please come to Imdad's PT and IELTS. Put it in your search bar. So the first post says, Inshallah, I'll take 3 sessions in Footscray tomorrow, 9 to 11, 11 to 1, and 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And apart from doing 20 collocations from the recent PT tests, I'll also do the entire listening section. If listening is where you are struggling the most, you can't afford to miss tomorrow's class. So that's the first post. And then the success story. Another successful Imdadian is Sukhdeep, and Sukhdeep has scored 90, 90, 90, 90 in her academic test held on 10 September. A perfect 19 each. Now Sukhdeep must be very sukhi. Can you all leave her a like, please, on the success story? Followed by Priya. Priya has scored 83, 87, 90, and 90 in her test held on 20th September 2019. Just in case if you don't see any photos, it's just that for every student we give them a call and tell them whether you have any privacy concerns, whether we can post your photos, yes or no. So yeah, mostly boys agree and girls mostly disagree because they say that I don't look good in photos. Yeah, that's happened. It's it does. It's a truth, you know. Anyway, so that's the. And are you all well versed with the updated timetable at Footscray? Yeah, so it was something we posted in somewhere yesterday, and let me go through that again. Yeah, so the sessions are as follows. So first session is 9 to 11. Second session is 11 to 1. Yeah. And then the third session is 1 to 3. And fourth session is 3 to 5 p.m. And then the last session is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. So that's the updated timetable. And if you have recently joined, some of you can get the updated timetable from the reception too. Okay, now have you all grabbed today's integrated material? Sabke paas hai 25th September. Everybody's got it, yeah? Except you. Thank you. Let's come to the question. Let's come to question number 1. Repeat sentence and write from dictation. This question is unfortunate that it is the part of PTE test. Why? Because this doesn't assess your English ability. This question assesses your memory, short-term memory. That has nothing to do with your English language. Even if you get a British person or somebody who's from Australia, a native speaker, English speaker, and ask him and throw these questions and statements at him, repeat sentences, I don't think he can properly do it. A native speaker too. Let alone desis. Have you heard of this phrase, let alone? Let alone matlab kya hota hai? Oh wow. Okay. Let alone means usko to rehne hi do. So for example, when you say something like this, say I can't crack PT, let alone IELTS. मतलब मैं PT crack नहीं कर सकता, IELTS की बात ही मत करो. See my point? So let alone is a phrase. Yeah. Okay. So this question, repeat sentence, is from your speaking section, and write from dictation comes in your listening section. But both of them use the same strategy, same technique to solve them. So that's why we have put them together, repeat sentences or write from dictation. You get 4 sentences in the exam, 3 to 4, could be 3 or 4. Repeat sentences, you'll get 12 sentences. So 12 sentences from repeat sentences, and write from dictation, you'll get 4 sentences. And you'll have, when you listen to the sentence, you'll have to say it back to the computer. Now, let's test a short-term memory. So you'll repeat after me. New York is famous for ethnic diversity. Okay. The seating is available for 80 people in the auditorium. Okay. Egypt is famous for its archaeology and science. There has been a popular debate about this phenomenon, whether it is true. Man has inborn ability to follow the rules and regulations properly. properly. Yeah. So you see, this is the short-term memory test. Now, what happens is that your sentences will be of this medium length, but sometimes the length of the sentence goes beyond 12 to 13 words. That's where you lose the track. That's where you don't understand, oh, what did they mention at the beginning? So that's why we say, so sometimes when I have a sentence like this, there has been a popular debate about this phenomenon, whether it is true or there is no proof or evidence to support its existence. And in the end, what we can see is that so when your sentence is like too lengthy, so you just remember in the end what we can, so whatever they mentioned first, it's all gone. So to avoid that situation, you have to try and use initials to trigger your memory. Initials of first 2 to 3 words. It could be 3 to 4 words too. Let's say, for example, when they say something like this, they say that the essay should be written with double spacing on white. This is your real exam repeat sentence. The essay should be written with double. I didn't talk to you, sorry. The essay should be written with double spacing on white paper. The essay should be written, yeah? So first 3 to 4 words, the essay should be written. So that's how you force yourself, challenge yourself to do this, to prepare this. Don't get afraid of these questions. A lot of people are like, sorry, repeat sentence, not my cup of tea. No, I can't do it. I can't. But this is something that you're going to face the exam in exam anyway. So what's the problem? What is the issue about thinking that, oh, I can't do it, I can't, but you have to do it anyway. So there are a lot of repeat sentence questions. We're giving you roughly more than 250 real exam repeat sentence questions in their special and along with the audios too. What do? You practice different repeat sentence questions, and of course in the class too we'll practice a lot there too. But at the same time, you listen to those real exam repeat sentence, and there's a good possibility you'll get some of the sentences. If not anything, at least you'll be exposed to some difficult words which will puzzle you otherwise in the exam. Ye kya bola tha? Pata nahi chala. Ye kya bola tha? At least you have already listened to it once. So do that, put the headphones and listen to those sentences all day. Spend some time with it. So let's do these questions, and I want everyone to grab a pen and paper and write the initials, 3 to 4 words, first 3 to 4 words, yeah? So sentence number 1, I'm going to play it now.
1. The workers are lazy, indolent villains, and the leaders are intelligent, hard-working visionaries.
Workers are lazy, efficient, and vision. Yeah, vision is something they said in the end. Okay, so what do? This is like this. You write first 3 to 4 words, and then you close your eyes, and then within 1 second, you will have to come up with a response. For example, you follow me the way I'm doing it. Look at this.
1. The workers are lazy, indolent villains, and the leaders are intelligent, hard-working visionaries.
Workers are lazy and indifferent, and they are visionary or something like this. But when you have 2 words or 3 words which you have absolutely no clue about, like this one, when they say intelligent, and you didn't pick that word, intelligent, okay. And they say workers are lazy, say workers are lazy something, and then complete with something, rather than saying workers are lazy which is not good. So this is something I told a lot of students in appointment timings too. So when you have a word or a group of words which you miss or you don't understand just because of the speed of the sentence, or because it was too quick, or because it was a thick accent. So what you can do there, rather than saying so workers are lazy and intelligent na bol ke, workers are lazy and something and complete, and they are the future visionaries, blah blah blah, whatever it is. Yeah. So you just have to use that something in between, rather than saying you don't know. Yeah. So next one.
2. As an irresponsible student, I would leave the radio on all night.
I'll get you one. you get marks in your listening section. Yeah, and the way you pronounce your word, you get marks in your speaking section.
Three, family allowances were designed to make the poor self-reliant and independent, not lazy.
Family allowances were designed to make the poor self-independent and self-reliant, not lazy. You see? I know this is like, what's happening? In the exam, the accent is not this thick. This accent is like British, pure British Irish accent. But if you can do these sentences, you can do any sentences in the exam. Exam one, because if you have to win a 100-meter race, what are you going to practice at home? 20 meters or 30 meters? Maybe 120, maybe 130-meter race. You'll practice it so that in the real race looks easy for you. Yeah. So you have to practice these ones. So let's do a lot of sentences here. This one, don't worry if you get it wrong. Oh, sir, I missed it. I missed some words here and there. You know. So, but write 3 to 4 initials.
Four, nobody wants to appear apathetic, uninterested, or indifferent.
Nobody wants to be apathetic or interested. The 3 things they mentioned, remember it in chunks. Indifferent, apathetic, indifferent, and uninterested. Yeah, I'll get you. Look at this, chunks.
4, nobody wants to appear apathetic, uninterested, or indifferent.
Apathetic, uninterested, or indifferent. Apathetic, uninterested, or indifferent. Yeah. Next one. Now let's try to make it right from dictation questions at the same time. So right from dictations, you don't have to say it, so you won't shout and scream here and there. So I want you to write for right from dictations. What do? You have a lot of time. You're more relaxed in right from dictation. Why? Not a lot of time, but you have 2 to 3 minutes at least in the end. So while you're done with the sentence, there's no stress on you. You have to say it immediately. So you can write the initials, the full sentence, the initials of the full sentence, and then write it on the computer, and then check your spellings and press next. Yeah, same thing here. So you have to write the initials of the entire sentence, and then write the full sentence. Then raise your hands if you're sure, whatever it is.
Five, it's not so much dreamy. Five, it's not so much dreamy as it is stubborn.
Sorry guys, I'll play it again.
5, it's not so much dreamy as it is and stubborn. 6, in general, the prognosis is favourable with a reported survival rate of 78%.
Okay, जो बीच वाला information था वो तुमने खा ही लिया. So in general, the prognosis is favorable, and then with a report rate of 78%. The report rate of 78%. So I know this is tricky. The exam one's a little easier than this one. So next one.
Seven. Deep ulcers require wound.
Let me turn my mic off so that maybe.
Seven. Deep ulcers require local wound care and antibiotics. Eight. In his writings, he becomes a powerful presence, a personality with obstinate opinions.
Okay. Very quickly, this question, read aloud, gives us marks towards our reading section. This is an important task for our reading section too. But this is your question number 1 of your PT test. The first question you'll be looking in your exam is this question, read aloud. So you have 7 passages in the exam. We have only given you 2 here, but you'll get 7 passages. And for every passage, there is like a rehearsal time. Rehearsal time is, how long is this time for? This is 40, maximum 40 seconds. So for every passage, there is like a practice time or rehearsal time of 40 seconds. And in those 40 seconds, read the passage once and go through the difficult chunks, not the difficult words. For example, if I was in the exam and I'm doing passage number 1, how would I do this in my preparation time? Biologists have long debated why some whales became the world's biggest animal. Some have proposed that because water bears the animal's weight, whales can move around more easily and gulp in enough food to sustain big appetites. Others have suggested that whales got big to fend off giant sharks and other mega predators. Now, I have to think, oh, what was difficult for me? Where did I struggle? Oh, I struggled here, fend. So let me read this chunk again. Big to fend, got big to fend, got big to fend, got big to fend, got big to fend, sustain big appetite, sustain big appetite, sustain big appetites. Not just the word appetites. Why? Because in the real recording, you're not just going to read appetites. You're going to read the words before it and after it too. So you have to make sure that not just the difficult words, maybe a word before it and the word after it too, the entire chunk, 3 or 4 words. So once you're done with those 40 seconds, your beep sound, you'll listen to a beep sound. Beep, that indicates that your recorder is, or doesn't mean the test is finished. Your recorder has started, yeah? And then you start talking, yeah? So how would you do this? What do we say? We say that you have to go very fast, yeah? You have to, the faster you are, the better for your scores, yeah? We never say something like this. The faster you are, the stupider you are, because it's very important, because for computer to understand your words. And when you're too fast, it's not easy for computer to pick your words. Computer should pick your words. That's important. So maintain a boring, consistent pace. But are you allowed, or do we ask you guys to give a deliberate pause at any punctuation whatsoever? And you don't do that. So no matter what comma, hyphen, some people have got braces. They stop at braces, brackets, hyphen, comma, exclamatory. You don't have to give a deliberate. Yes, of course, if you want to give a very short break, like in a short pause, just to take your breath, that's okay. But make sure it's a consistent pace. Now, how would we do this? Like this. Biologists have long debated why some whales became the world's biggest animals. Some have proposed that because water bears the animal's weight, whales can move around more easily and gulp in enough food to sustain big appetites. Others have suggested that whales got big to fend off giant sharks and other mega predators. You see, not too fast, not too slow either. Yeah. Suppose next one, number 2. Even though it was banned decades ago, one of the more dangerous industrial pollutants of the last century is wreaking havoc on killer whale populations worldwide. That's the conclusion of a new study which finds that Polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs, may be slowly wiping out some groups of these iconic marine mammals. PCBs also threaten other animals as well, including seals and sharks. See my point? So the second one, I read it for the first time without preparing, but did you see the pace? It's very consistent, not too fast, not too slow, very consistent. So that's how I want you guys to perform this read aloud section in your exam. It's very important for your reading scores. Yeah. Now, if you change the singular word to a plural word, biologists, played, yeah. Articles, interchange. If you say the person, a person, so you're going to lose your reading scores because you're tampering with the content. So you'll lose marks in your reading section, not in your speaking section. This question gives you marks towards your reading as well as speaking. How much? 25 each. Can you write it down? For those people who don't know it. For those people who know it, you don't have to write it down. 25 in each section. So 25 in reading and 25 in speaking. Now, when we take the mock test, when we take your mock test in speaking inside our cabin there, and we just go through, there are 4 modules. Yeah, there are speaking, there's reading, there's listening, there's writing. Yeah. So what we do is you have to do 2 mock tests with us. The first thing we do is we just go through the speaking part. And what do we do with the rest of the modules? We skip all the questions. We don't attempt reading. We don't attempt listening. We just press next without attempting. We don't attempt writing anything. We don't do anything else. We just do speaking. And when this mock test gives you instant scores there and then. So when it gives you the scores, speaking, reading, listening, and writing, it will give you scores in your speaking. But not just speaking, you will see some scores in reading and listening too. Although you didn't solve reading and listening. But where are these scores coming from? They're coming from your speaking section. And that's when we have a number in our head. The teachers, we have a number in our head, and we want you guys to hit that number. If you hit that number in the mock test, that means there's a good possibility you will get the expected scores, what we expect in your real exam, as long as there is nothing drastic that you did in the exam. Yeah. So in reading, in mock test, we want you to hit in the class. We want you to hit at least 28 because that's the maximum you can extract from your speaking into your reading. And where are these 28 marks coming from? This question, read aloud. Yeah. Yeah. Only read aloud in mock test. But in real exam, the maximum you can achieve from speaking into your reading is 25, 3 marks short. Yeah. So you'll get 25 there. And in listening section, in the mock test, we want you to hit a number which is 35. And the breakdown of that 35, I'll explain it to you. Some of those 35 marks are coming from your repeat sentence too. We just did repeat sentence. I told you how many marks do you get in the repeat sentence towards your listening? 20, yeah? So 20. So out of this 35, 20 is just coming from where? Repeat sentence, the ones we just did. So in the mock test, we want to see these numbers here. If you hit these numbers, that means you're all good. Your classes with us was all fine. You have hit these numbers, you should be okay in the exam. Yeah, because your speaking gives you marks towards your listening as well as reading. So that's what happens here too. So you have to make sure you don't tamper with if you change the words here and there. Biologist has. This 28 will go to 27, 26, because it was biologists have. Yeah. Okay, so I need someone who can try passage number 1, that side. Let's ask someone to do passage. Saket, yeah, you try it. Yeah. You know what is happening, Saket? Have you done PT before? Is this your first time? So this is what I call a rubber performance. Rubber performance, what do I mean by that? Is like too fast at certain places, too slow at certain places. And again, too fast and too slow. So too fast, too slow, too fast. So it has to be consistent. Why do we do this? Easier vocabulary, tougher vocabulary. Easier vocabulary, tougher vocabulary. And our speed is dependent on the vocabulary of the passage. That's why we go too fast, too slow, too fast, too. Now it has to be the consistent. Now look at the last line. I'll give you an example. This is how you did the last line. Others have suggested that whales got big to fend off giant sharks and other mega predators. You see, others have suggested was here, and then big to fend off sharks or somewhere around here. So it has to be a consistent pace. Yeah. Anyone can try passage number 1, this side. Bolane, I know your name. Gagan. Yeah? Thank you. Gagan, go ahead. देखा ये मैंने बोला biologist नहीं था. Biologists. S in the end. Yeah, exactly. You know, some people can't pronounce S in the end, no matter how hard they try. For example, can you say scientists? Well done. Scientists.
Scientist.
Huh?
Scientist.
You see? Scientists.
Scientist.
Okay.
Scientist.
Scientists, nahi, scientists. Yeah, well done. Scientists, S in the end. Scientists. See, that's what I was talking about. See, some people can't pronounce S in the end. Badao aapka, Gagan, biologists. Ah, well done. Bolo now.
Biologists have long debated why some whales become the world's biggest animals. Some have proposed that because water gives the animals weight, whales can move around more easily and gulping enough food to sustain big appetites. Others have suggested that whales got big to fend off against sharks and other mega predators.
Okay. दो चीजें हैं. Gagan, I want you to learn this thing. This and this. Same point. So when you say PER, when you say perception, the syllable stress is more on PER, per. You say per. Perception. Perception, yeah? You say perception. Percep. But when it is PRO, you don't say project. You don't say par. It has to be very quick syllable stress. Project. Project. So similarly, when you say, you don't say proposal. Proposal. Proposal is this. Par. Now, we don't say par. Say proposal. Pro. It has to be very quick. So can you say proposal? Proposal? Yeah. Can you say perception? Perception. See the difference between two? This is the problem. Purpose. No, purpose. I'm happy. Why are you happy? Oh, I have purposed. See? Not purpose. These are two different things. Purpose, different. Propose, different. Can you say purpose? Purpose? What is the purpose? Why are you late? What is the purpose? Yeah? Purpose. Well, propose. Propose. You see, two different things. Yeah. Okay. Do you know one more thing before we move on to the next paragraph here? We follow British pronunciation, and you must use this British pronunciation. Why British pronunciation? In the sense that you don't have to change the accent. Nobody changes the accent. R, just don't put a lot of stress in R in the end. Whenever the words end with R, for example, when I say SIR, how do you pronounce? Sir? Sir? British people say sir, no R. They don't pronounce R in the end. Sir. Sir. But when it comes to American, there's a lot of stress on R. Sir. Sir. R is there in American. So for example, when you say WATER, say water, 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 no R. When you say American, water, water, R is there, yeah? There, I have to go there, 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 R, and those words which end with R, we don't put a lot of stress in there. So when it comes to Americans, there, see, R is like very hard in this particular words. So we don't pronounce R in the end. So similarly, हमारा क्या water, water, water ना बोल के water, 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 R बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, like killer. See killer? Like killer, killer whale, killer whale, killer, killer whale, killer R. So हम killer भी नहीं बोलते, which is हम बोलते हैं killer, killer, not killer, yeah, killer. Second one, who can try second one? Guys, this side now. ये वाला clear हो गया. This side, second one, passage number 2. आपका नाम क्या है? Jyoti. Jyoti, I get very scared when I look at you. You're expressionless. Sometimes I have a lot of students. When I the teacher does an analysis. When a teacher teaches, he does an analysis. While he's teaching, there are a lot of things going on his or my mind. When I say something, you say yes, no. Maybe I'm sending you the signal. You're sending the signal back to me. But when I say something and you're like this, समझ में आया? कुछ पता चला? Did you understand? Do you know what it means? Don't come to me. Ask someone else. And then teacher thinks, ये बंदा सोच क्या रहा है? तो ये सोच रहा है कि ये कौन पढ़ा रहा है? So this is very important. Okay, आपका नाम क्या है? Very quickly again. Jyoti. Jyoti, can you try passage number 2?
one of the more dangerous industrial pollutants of the last century is wreaking havoc on killer whales. Whales population worldwide. That's the conclusion of a new study which finds the polychlorinated
Biphenyls.
biphenyls may be slowly wiping out some groups of these iconic marine mammals. PCBs also threaten more other animals as well, including seals and sharks.
पता क्या हो रहा है? Do you know what you're doing? Unwanted gaps. Unwanted gaps ऐसे हुआ देखो. You know when you said in the second line havoc on killer, उसके बाद I was lost. Do you know why? Because I couldn't follow you because it was unwanted gap all of a sudden. So when you say even though it was banned decades ago, one of the more dangerous industrial, so I'm expecting you'll say pollutants, but you don't. You give a gap all of a sudden. More dangerous industrial pollutants of the last century is wreaking havoc on killer whales population worldwide. That's the conclusion. See, achanak se gap. That's number one. Number two, your pronunciation. Pronunciation, havoc. Can you say havoc? Havoc. Can you say wrecking? Wrecking, lovely. Can you say pollutants? Pollutants, beautiful. PCBs na bol ke PCBs. This is plural form of PCB. PCBs, not PCBs. Yeah. And whenever you have a difficult word you can't pronounce, what do? I told you last night. Please skip it. But for the sake of class, of course, this is polychlorinated biphenyls, like medical term. So whenever you have something difficult you can't really pronounce, just skip it. What are you sacrificing? You're sacrificing your reading scores. So when you skip a word, you're sacrificing your reading score. But when you read something, polychlorinated, what did you do? Your fluency is gone because you're saying poly 3 times. And then after trying it 3 times, you're still saying it wrong, polychlorinated. So you're losing your speaking too, you're losing your reading too. So why lose your speaking? Just skip it word. Just sacrifice your reading. Of course, it's not much. Just skipping one word in the passage is not going to cost you a lot of scores in your reading, but at least you'll save your speaking, which is more important, which is the backbone. So usko skip hi karo. There are a lot of difficult words. Just anesthesia kerloana. Skip it. The German names, Russian names, Dimitrios Trikopoulos. Why do you have to say it? Prokaryotic, eukaryotic, Rhymenamordas, trypsinogen. Forget it. Everything. Move on. Now let's come to question number 7, guys. I want all of you to prepare both these images. I'll give you 20 seconds to do so. And for those students who didn't get a chance and read aloud, I'll ask them to describe the image with me. No? Haven't done it? Don't worry, I'm here to help you. आपका नाम क्या है? कुलदीप. आपका फर्स्ट क्लास है हमारे?
आपकी फर्स्ट है.
मेरी क्लास. Okay, before I've seen a lot of new faces here in the class too. Before we start this, I want to know the names very quickly. Satinder, Avilasha, Sonia, Soni. Okay. Atinder, Avilasha, Soni, Kuldeep, Jayanti, and Raj. Aman, same thing. Oh, it's not the same thing. Okay. Aman, Kamal, I'm so sorry. Kamal and Aman. And आपका नाम क्या है? Zakir Saab, and then Jyoti, and then Gagan, and then Surya, and Manjinder, Deep. Oh, sorry, Deep. Deep तो पूरा नाम नहीं हो सकता. Randeep याद रहेगा ना. Randeep actor भी है ना. Randeep Huda. Randeep, and then Sami, and then Mirza, and then Saket, Prabjot, and then Shadab, Abhiram, Aman Sahab को मैं जानता हूँ. And Nurola, where does this name come from? Persia. Are you from Iran? Man, you're from Iran. I didn't know. You didn't tell me. Yesterday, I was forcing my wife to watch an Iranian movie. I love Iranian movies. Shahab Hosseini. What do you call it? There's another Majid Al Majdi, and then Asghar Farhadi. So I love those big names in Iran. So yeah, I know. So yeah, I made her go through the subtitles. A Separation. We were watching A Separation is sounds negative movie, but yeah, it was a beautiful movie. Yeah, I made her watch it yesterday, and then she loved it. Yeah. Yeah. So name again. Sorry, I forgot. Nurullah. You're from Tehran, yeah? The capital. And Rajwant, yeah? Raj mujhe pata hai. Okay. Let's come to question number. Oh, this is done. Yeah. Question number 7. Describe image section. Very quickly, describe image. You'll get 6 to 7 images in the exam. So this is your image, and for image, you will have a rehearsal time, practice time, and the practice time is 25 seconds for every image. And your recording time. Do you know this practice time ye kaise aata hai exam mein? It says something like this: recording in 25 seconds, and that 25 goes 24, 23, 22. And when it says recording in 0 seconds, you will see a blue color here popping up. You'll see a blue color here. That means your recorder is open. When you see a blue color here, this will start filling. You keep on talking. That means your recorder. You know that in your any speaking task, if you don't speak for more than 3 seconds, the recorder turns off. 3 consecutive seconds. If you stay quiet, the recorder turns off. That's how it is programmed. So after 25 seconds are over, you'll have to start talking. Now, this is 40 seconds. Of course, you can get 90 if you speak for the entire thing, 40 seconds. But you can also get 90 if you speak for just first 50%, just 25 seconds. So you can still end up getting 90 by just speaking for first 25 seconds. And you can also get 90 by just speaking for 40 seconds. Why would you speak for entire 40 seconds? See my point? So the less you talk, the better, the less chances of making mistakes. Batao Gagan? Dekho, yeah, this is a good question. Andaza lagana padega. Andaza in the sense there are no numbers there. So when you see that, oh, this is 40 seconds, I've reached somewhere around the half. So if blue color is in the middle, a little bit more than half, you press next. Bolte, don't stop. While you're talking, press. Even if you don't finish your sentence, you're in the middle of the sentence. When you say something, oh, there was a dramatic rise, and you know, oh, I've crossed more than half. Forget the line, just press next. Stop in the middle, cut it in the middle. Is it clear? So don't worry about finishing the sentence. So that's the best part about repeat sentences. About describe image section. Now there are fixed lines that we ask you guys to memorize. Those fixed lines are very quickly. Batao, I have a beautiful, and you start with these lines. Beautiful image or picture in front of me. Next line. Let me have a closer look at it. This is for all the new students and those people watching us online too. Third line, by looking closely, I can see several trends are emerging in this picture. Yeah, done. You can also add another line. I have to speak for 25 seconds. I have to speak for 25 seconds. I am very nervous. I don't have to say this line. So these are the fixed lines that you can start with these. For every image, you start with like a heading. It's like zabardast fayda hai this line. You know, एक तो stress released, because this is a Ratamar line. Number 2, at least when you speak these lines in a very consistent pace, because you've memorized it over and over again, you get like a reference point. This is my speed. The speed of the content should be like this, exactly like this, the way I've used these lines at the beginning. So when you're done with this, iske baad kya karoge? You will talk about the content. Content is very important, guys. Some people have taken this question so lightly. Trust me, I had a student, Bandura mein, 1 saal pehle ki baat kar raha hu main. He said, sir, I did something. I said, what did you do? in describing my sections. I had my passport with me. I read everything from my passport. And I go, okay, all right. And he was happy because describe image. And then something like this happened in his report, score report card. And it's not just him. It was two other students who did the same thing without talking about the content. Said something like this. His oral fluency and pronunciation are the two pillars which help you towards your listening score, towards your speaking scores. His oral fluency was 90, pronunciation was 82 or something like this, but his overall score was 56. See my point? And you can't justify this score report card. You can't even call the customer care, say, oh, my fluency is this, my pronunciation is this, why am I getting overall 56? Because dil mein chor, you know what you have done. See my point? So that's why I ask you guys, 10 seconds, lagatar 10 seconds. It doesn't have to be consecutive, but overall 10 seconds you have to spend on the content. Content could be your title, could be your information on x-axis, y-axis. You just don't have to make the sense of the content. That's as simple. Sense nahi bana. Don't make the sense of the content, but use the content. Like this. Just say, for example, image number 2. Using these fixed lines. How would we do this? I have a beautiful image in front of me. Let me have a closer look at it. By looking closely, I can see several trends are emerging. I have to speak for 25 seconds. This is a line graph. There is a table on the left. There is some lines on the right-hand side. At the bottom, I can also see another table and some lines on the right-hand side. Some lines are going up and down. I don't know why they're going up and down. I can see chart title. I can see 2015, 2005. 11, 12, 14 is also there. 14 is my lucky number. I love this number. My time is about to finish. I think I don't want to talk about anything else. Thank you so much. You see the way I was doing it in a very calm and composed way. I use the graph, I use the content, use the numbers and everything from the image, but then goal mol ke, I just press next. That's how you're supposed to do. You don't have to say, oh, this is dramatic rise, dramatic decrease, and the constant from 2015 to 2016, and then the price of oil hiked again, and it was sharply steep. They simply say lines are going up, lines are going down. I don't know why they're going up. I don't know why they're going down. That's it. As simple as that. Yeah, Mirza bolo. It's a good thing. Sometimes, most of the times, when you press next here at 25 seconds, next press karte ho, so you will get a dialog box. You don't get another image. A dialog box which will be saying, do you want to proceed to the next image, yes or no? So something like this. For every image, you see this dialog box. Jab next kiya hai, to obviously, maybe it's like a protection thing for them sometimes, accidentally it happens, Yeah, so while this dialog box is on your screen, the background recorder is still open. See my point? So you don't wait and stay quiet and then read the dialog box and everything. You just have to keep talking unless and until you press that yes button. So next and yes, you still have to keep talking unless and until you press the yes button. So it's just 1 second. Next, I think my time is up. I have to press next. So this is the dialog box. This is yes or no, and this is the next. I think my time is up. I have to press next button. How long does it take? If you're confused, oh sorry, I get confused. I can't operate like these. There is another way you can do. Use your keyboard. Ultra N, Ultra Y. Alt key. Ultra key on your keyboard. Ultra N, Ultra Y for every image. You can do like this. I think my time is up. I have to press next. I think my time is up. I have to press next. I think my time is up. I have to press next. Very clear. So Ultra N, Ultra Y. Ultra N is next. Ultra Y is yes. Just in case if you feel confused. But yes, you have to keep talking unless and until you press that yes button. Yeah, and it's just 1 second. Okay, who can try image number 1 now? Image 1. Anyone this side? Anyone who's tried? Deep. Okay, let's time deep for 25 seconds, and your time starts now.
I have a beautiful image in front of me. Let me have a closer look at this picture. By looking closely, I can see several trends are emerging in this picture. I have to speak what 25 seconds on this picture. So let's start with the heading. And the heading is 3 things are important to diligence and speed. Great works are performed, note with trends, for design. What a beautiful written by Johnson. I have to speak what 25 seconds, and I will speak about the color. I'll go with the red color. Red color is my favorite color. Whenever I wear the red color, I feel confident and
Oh wow, well done. Is that true, Deep? See, look at that. See the way he did it? So he can make stories. But a lot of us can't make stories like this in the exam, making stories little going out of your comfort zone. But Deep did well. बहुत अच्छा किया तुमने Deep. Perseverance. कैसे पढ़ोगे इसको? Perseverance. Yeah, so anything which is difficult for you to read in the image, just don't read it. It doesn't matter because content, you don't have to use the entire content. Yeah, but what you can talk about in every image, one, because I have to speak for 25 seconds. If I say I have a beautiful image, this thing will only eat 9 seconds. And then I have to talk for 25 seconds. If I say this line, few things are impossible to diligence and skill, great works are performed not by strength but by perseverance. It will kill another 5 seconds, so which is like 14 seconds. And then if I say Samuel Johnson has written this quote, blah, 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 another 2 to 3 seconds. So 14 plus 3, 17 seconds. But I have to speak for 25 seconds. And what would I do with the last part? Either I'll repeat myself. Let me repeat again. Start from the beginning. Or the easy way, talk about numbers and colors. Whether there are colors or whether there are no colors, you still talk about colors. You still talk about numbers. I can see some numbers, 20, 30, 40. 40 is my lucky number. I can see some colors, red, blue, yellow. Yellow is my lucky number. Yellow is my favorite color. Yeah? Yeah, even if you can't see any number, there will be a number. Yeah. The number aa jayenge.
As long as you're taking the content.
As long as you're done with the content. As long as you're done with the content first, And yeah, you have to use your own imagination, You have to use but you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to create something there on the spot. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can say, the weather is really nice outside. I think the examiner is directly looking into my eyes. I think it's really scaring me. So, you can say a lot of things like this, whatever. But don't worry. You will see a lot of voices in the exam room saying the same thing. There are students. Say the same thing. So you'll listen to this, I have a beautiful image, with a lot of other people too. So you'll be saying, I have a beautiful image. Everybody will say, I have a beautiful image. Let me have a closer. Feel good at that point of time, but don't feel extra good, and you'll remove your chair like this. Not like this. Shouldn't feel excited there. Maintain the pace. Maintain the normal pace. Oh, this is the baby time, yeah. Okay. So we're all part of your family now, So we know when to feed your baby. Yeah. So you have to maintain a consistent pace. Like, I have a beautiful image in front of me. Let me take a closer look. By looking closely, there are several friends. Not like this. I have a beautiful image. Let me have a closer look. By looking closely, I can see several trends emerging. A rap song nahi karna hai. It has to be very consistent.
diligence or diligence?
Huh?
Diligence or
Diligence. Okay, guys, let's come to the next question. See how many let me see if the other branches have connected. Yeah. Okay. Let's come to this question. Question number 8. Everyone, please come to question number 8, listening MCQ. You are going to see a lot of questions now from listening section 2 at this point of time, because listening is where a lot of people struggle. So we're going to expose you to these questions every single day. So listening MCQ, single answer. There are 2 types of listening MCQs in the exam, single answer and multiple answer. Multiple answer and single answer. Multiple answer, you don't solve. You just choose any 2 and press next. Any 2 options, yeah? And then press next. There is negative marking, of course. That's why we don't ask you to choose more than 2, yeah?
So you take the negative marking.
Yeah.
And if we choose 2,
Yeah.
we will get -2.
No. -2 is not. There's no -2. This is negative marking within the question. For example, A, B, C, D. So suppose in their system, A and B is the answer. And I chose A, so I'll get 1 for it. And I chose D. For D, I'll get -1. Yeah, not 0, -1. So the overall score is 0. Now, if I do something like this, if I choose as my answers B and C, so this is -1. Oh, sorry, if I choose my answer as C and D, so this is -1, and D is also -1. This is not -2 in PTE because this -2 will not deduct your overall score and bring it to -2. So not like this. So this -2 is still 0 because this is within the question. And this is not us saying, this is a PT handbook. Their guidebook, they say that this is something like which is within the question, not overall scores. So what you do is you don't worry about those questions, MCQ multiple answer. What do you worry about is this single answer question. Yeah, you press next, choose any two, press next. This will save you a lot of time too, rather than wasting a lot of time. Listening section has got a very limited time in your exam. 17 to 19 seconds is like your time now. It used to be 27 2 years ago. 27 minutes used to be the this is just a money-making strategy. They have reduced this time. Listening section, so you don't spend a lot of time in MCQs and highlight correct summary. We ask you to skip highlight correct summary now. We don't ask you to solve highlight because you can still end up getting 90 without even touching highlight correct summary. Yeah, we don't touch highlight correct summary. Same thing with here, listening MCQ. Make life easy for yourself. Now let's come to this question number 8, listening MCQ single answer. The first thing you do is read the question quickly. And what does the question say? Is this a true false information? Because this asks us which of the following is true. Now, what after that? When you know which of the following is true, what do you do after that? You will read the options, yeah? You can't read the options. You won't read the options. Why? Because the audio is playing in the background. You can't understand the audio and understand the options. Two things coming in your brain at the same time. So you will just focus on read the question, listen to the audio, yeah? So I'm going to play this audio, guys, everyone. This is just to check your power of concentration. Don't yawn. Listen to the audio.
8 years ago, the jury in the trial of Casey Anthony announced their verdict.
As to the charge of first-degree murder, verdict as to count 1, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty, so say we all.
Anthony had been charged with murdering her 2-year-old daughter. But like the murder charge, the jury's decision for additional charges of aggravated child abuse and aggravated manslaughter were again
Not guilty.
And that created this huge outcry.
Christopher Ferguson, clinical psychologist at Stetson University in Central Florida, not far from where the trial occurred.
It was just kind of like this narrative that, she got preferential treatment, maybe not on purpose, but, sort of the jury was more sympathetic to her because she was this, pretty young female, and that kind of conflicted with people's impression of who a murderer is.
Okay, unappealing people end up in prison. Unappealing people. Unappealing means ugly, not attractive, end up in prison. How many features A? I'm not guilty. What do you say? I'm not. Oh. Okay, all right. It's not given, okay. B, people found it hard to identify the lady as a murderer. No. C, beauty never comes in the way of justice. No. D, people should not trust the court system. No, तो तुमने choose क्या किया है? Huh? What did you choose? Why don't you respond? So how many of you chose A first? Let's make it clear. Nobody. How many of you chose B? Okay, thank you. How many of you chose C? Beauty never comes in the way of justice. How many of you chose D? People should not trust the court system. Now, for those people who have chosen C, beauty never comes in the way of justice, I have news for you. Don't book your exam. Beauty never comes in the way of justice means that beauty is never a deciding factor for judge to prove someone guilty or not guilty. But the audio said yes, because the lady seemed to be a pretty lady, and then they said that she's not guilty. So C cannot be the answer. C is totally opposite. People should not trust the court system. For those people who have chosen D, people should not trust the court system. You also should not book your test. Why? Because one thing important. If the audio said, INDAS, PT, and IELTS earns a lot of money. Yeah? And the options say which of the following is true. INDAS, PT, and IELTS has a lot of customers. You guys will choose this answer. Why? Customer hai, okay. तो पैसे भी बनाता ही होगा. Okay, do you see my point? So ये बनाता ही होगा, he'll be making the money. This is an assumption. So you connected the two thoughts with a bridge of your own, which was not there. It was an assumption. So unless and until something is not explicitly mentioned, clearly mentioned in the audio, you do not assume on your own. They did not say that therefore therefore scientists or researchers give a suggestion that citizens should never trust or put their faith in the judicial system. Did they mention it anywhere? This is something you deduced or you concluded on your own. Eh hua hai to we should not do this, yeah? We should not trust. This was not mentioned anywhere in the audio. So it was a not given information, but a very close to the audio, but not given information. So D cannot be the answer. And A, unattractive people end up in prison. Again, not given information. The answer for this one is B, people found it hard to identify the lady as a murderer. Why? They said it in the last part, didn't they?
Was this, pretty young female, and that kind of conflicted with people's impression of who a murderer is.
It
8 years ago,
conflicted with the people's impression of who the murderer was. So it conflicted. Their idea of murderer was somebody with chaku and everything, with a long beard. But then it's, oh, this could be a murderer. So it conflicted with their concept of murderer. Yeah. Okay, now let's come to the next question, guys. Question number 9. I'm going to play this audio. So again, read the question this time first. The question is to read the question is very important. Don't read the options. Option na padho. Option na padho. This is what I said, Kuldeep. Don't read the options. Read the question. Question kya hai? The images of insects are uploaded on. Do you know how much time would you get to read the question in the exam? No time. Yeah, exactly. No time at all. So the moment you see this question, listening MCQ single answer, you will hear the audio at the same time. So there is absolutely no time. So you have to read the question like this, like a flash of light. So very quickly. Images of insects are uploaded on social networking app in order to. Okay, images, social networking app. Okay. Now listen to the question.
Interested in studying exotic life forms? Maybe even identifying new species? Well, forget about buying a plane ticket. Just take a look in your basement, bathroom, or boudoir. Researchers in North Carolina aim to document the critters that live among us in the great indoors. 10 years ago, biologists led by Rob Dunn at North Carolina State began to explore the biodiversity of insects in 50 homes in the Raleigh area. Though they expected to uncover a couple dozen bugs, they turned up more than 1,000 distinct species. And when they expanded their studies to other cities, they found lots more, some entirely new to science. Now, they're enlisting an intrepid brigade of citizen scientists to carry the work further. That means you. Simply explore your immediate environment. Poke around under the sink, behind the curtains, the back of the pantry, and snap a pic of what you find. Then, upload your images to the social networking app iNaturalist. The observations you post will be shared with a global community of experts who can identify the creepy crawlies you've encountered. To participate in Dunn's effort, just tag your image to his project, which is titled Never Home Alone, The Wildlife of Homes.
Okay. The images of insects are uploaded on social networking app in order to. How many of you are thinking that, what is this question and what is it related to? When did they talk about this? If you're thinking this way, then you're thinking this way, what can we do? This is something they mentioned in the last part of the audio. If you paid attention, they talked about this thing. They said that there's a project going on that if you want to look at the exotic animals and these insects, you don't have to go to a jungle. Just look into the corners of your home, behind the curtains, under the carpet, everything. You'll see a lot of insects there too. And then what do you do? What do you do? You actually, so they have created an app, an application. And on that particular application, what do you do is you take the pictures in your house, in the basement of those insects, and then you upload it on that app, on that social networking app. But my question is, the question here says, the images of insects are uploaded for what purpose? Why do they have to upload it on social media? So, A, B, C, D. Number one, to get them identified through professional help, A. B, to compare the pests with the pests in other households. And there are different households in a city, so they have to compare. C, to avoid being bored. Hey, did anyone choose C? If I'm just going to choose K, to avoid being bored at home. Yeah, doesn't make sense at all. Oh, I'm bored. Let me take some picture of some insects and upload it on it. Doesn't make sense. D, to uncover the distinct species and the disease they could cause. Now, how many of you think the answer is? It's D and A is very close. C and B doesn't make sense because they are not giving information. They didn't say that they had to compare. Oh, my house has got 25 insects. Your house has got 45 insects. So there's no comparison there. So D, B, and C is gone. So it's either A or D, very close. How many of you think the answer is A first? Thank you. How many of you think the answer is D? I would have 100% agreed with those people who have chosen D, but just because of the last part. When the option says in order to uncover the distinct species, means in order to identify these different insect species and the disease that they could cause. This part is something that they did not talk about. They didn't say that they are creating diseases for human health and everything. This part is something, this is an extra added information which was wrong. The answer for this one is A. And look at this part. Where do they mention it? They mention it somewhere here.
The back of the pantry. And snap a pic of what you find. Then upload your images to the social networking app, iNaturalist. The observations you post will be shared with a global community of experts who can identify the creepy
So it will be shared with the global experts, and they can identify the creepy crawlers or insects. What are those insects in your house? So just to identify there, this is for biodiversity. So the answer for this one is A, to get them identified through professional help. Now let's come to question number 10, which is one of my favorite questions, select missing word. Let's read the instruction. You'll hear a recording. At the end of the recording, the last word or a group of words has been replaced by a beep. So what happens is a very short clip, audio clip. And the last audio part of the audio clip is hidden by a beep. Last part could be one word. It could be more than one word. It could be 2 or 3 words too. They are hidden by a beep. And your job is to figure out what was hidden under that beep. Is it clear? Very simple. For example, now one thing you have to take care of is the signpost words. Signpost words mean something like this. When you say, for example, when you say, Australia is a great country to live in because of the better lifestyle it offers and the job opportunities that you have, and it also gives an opportunity to file the citizenship and become a full permanent resident in this country. Yet there still are some people who beep. Will the options be something positive or the negative?
Negative.
Why? How do you know it's negative? It was all positive.
Because you said but.
Because of the word yet. Because of the word yet. Yet is a contrast. So if you have to look for those signpost words that actually flip the audio from positive to negative, negative to positive, from past to present, present to past, yeah, or future to past, past to future. So these signpost words actually change the tone of the audio completely. If they cut the audio after besides, will the options be something similar or something opposite? Something similar, because besides means iske alawa. So whatever they have mentioned before, the options will be something similar. If they cut the audio after furthermore, similar, opposite? Similar, moreover, similar, opposite? Similar, yeah, although, similar, opposite? Opposite, however, similar or opposite? Opposite, yeah, and similar or opposite? Similar. So these are signpost words you have to take care of. If they cut the audio after it, you should know where the audio is heading. Is it heading towards something positive or negative? So I'm going to play this audio, everyone. Pay attention, particularly the last beat. Of course, you don't know here because I'm playing from the laptop. You don't know when the audio is going to finish, which is more challenging. But in exam, you know when the audio is going to finish because you have this progression bar. So this keeps on moving forward like this. And when you know this is about to finish, you have to be very careful. But here, you don't know when I'm going to stop it. So guys, so every bit is very important. I'm playing the audio now.
Archaeologists have spent a lot of time analyzing the flashiest objects recovered at ancient sites. But now they're giving a second look at the waste and finding that it too tells tales about a culture. For example, 8,000-year-old poop recently revealed parasitic infections among people who lived in settlements versus their hunter-gatherer counterparts. And now archaeologists have examined another overlooked artifact, small stone flakes, typically thought to be byproducts from the production of tools like hand axes and cleavers.
It was not easy to convince the scientific community that there is value to study these items because they were regarded just as
So what was the last part? It wasn't important for them to study it because they were initially because they were regarded just as waste. Because they were regarded just as waste. Waste is the answer here. Why? Because they said it was not important. This is the key word here. This is the signpost word that I'm talking about. It was not important. Why wasn't it important? Because they were regarded just as waste. Yeah. So the answer is special artifacts. Doesn't make sense. Stones is something useless, but not quite close to the audio. New tools, something positive. We don't need something positive here. We need something negative here. Yeah. Let's come to number 11. In the same way, the way you solve this one, I want everyone to pay attention to this audio too. For every part is very important here. I'm going to play these guys. Now.
Best before, sell by, for best results, use by. You probably have many of these labels on items in your fridge and pantry right now.
A lot of behavior on what you throw away and how you consume food. A lot of people go off on the label. And so what we're looking at is trying to shift behavior, trying to make consistency in terms of how foods are labeled so that we can avoid waste and avoid people throwing away products that are perfectly.
Okay.
Best before, sell by, for best results, use by. You probably have many of these labels on items in your fridge and pantry right now.
A lot of behavior on what you throw away and how you consume food. A lot of people go off what's on the label. And so what we're looking at is trying to shift behavior, trying to make consistency in terms of how foods are labeled so that we can avoid waste and avoid people throwing away products that are perfectly.
Now, can you all please cut this question number 11, because the audio is something and the options are something else. Because it doesn't, that are perfectly drops doesn't make sense. That are perfectly doesn't drop doesn't make sense. That are perfectly continues to rise doesn't make sense. That are perfectly remains constant. If it was that are perfectly constant, that could have made sense. So leave it for now. Come to question number 12, guys. Highlight incorrect words. So I'm going to play an audio. Everyone, please concentrate. There are certain parts of this passage which are totally different from what you will listen to the audio. Yeah, what you will listen to in the audio. So just highlight those words. Yeah, in the exam too, you just have to select the incorrect words while you're listening to the audio. Yeah, because the audio says he's smart, but the transcript says he's intelligent. You're just going to highlight intelligent. Yeah? Let's play this and then let's count those incorrect words. See how many of you are very close to the ideal answer.
Switching on the lights at night is second nature to most people in the developed world, but electricity isn't a given in many other parts of the globe.
Something like 1 billion people on our planet still lack reliable access to electricity. Think about folks in parts of the developing world that are living in off-grid locations. And for them, one of the central applications of electricity is lighting. And we need lighting the most at night.
UCLA materials scientist Ashwath Raman. Solar cells can provide remote areas with electricity during the day, but require batteries to store that energy for use at night. Raman's team has developed a potential solution, a simple thermoelectric device that generates power when it's exposed to the cold night sky. It's made possible by a phenomenon called radiative sky cooling.
Let's double check now.
Switching on the lights at night.
Night. So we'll just read the words which are different. Light. First word is light, yeah?
It's second nature to most people in the developed world.
Developing.
But electricity isn't a given in many other parts of the globe.
Gobble.
Something like 1 billion people on our planet still lack reliable access to electricity. Think about folks in parts of the developed.
Folks. Think about folks. Folks. Folks means people, yeah? So यहाँ पे लिखा है folks, yeah?
Developing world that.
Developing world. So यहाँ पे है developed. Look at this part.
In parts of the developing world that are living in off-grid locations. And for them, one of the central applications of electricity is lighting. And we need lighting.
So यहाँ पे fighting, yeah.
The most at night.
UCLA materials scientist Ashwath Raman. Solar cells can provide remote.
Solar cells. यहाँ पे क्या है? SELLS. It should have been materials. So that's what she said, I think. Let's double check.
UCLA materials scientist.
Materials scientist. I think it's materials.
Ashwath Raman. Solar cells can provide remote areas with electricity during the day, but require batteries to store that energy for use at night. Raman's team has developed a potential solution.
The potential solution. यहाँ पे we've got a potential solution, yeah.
Simple thermoelectric device.
Thermostatic.
That generates power when it's exposed to the cold night sky.
Cold night. So right.
It's made possible.
Plausible.
By a phenomenon called radiative sky.
Radiation.
Sky
cooling, yeah. Okay, let's come to the blanks now. Question number 14. Everyone, please come to question number 14. This is a quick spelling check opportunity for you two to see how good you are in your spelling. So this you will see, you'll listen to an audio, and at the same time you will note some word missing blanks from the audio. But don't type in on the computer. You get confused. Write it on your notebook, then transfer it to the computer. Yeah. So I'm playing this part, guys. Everyone. Let's see how many of you, because this one is not that difficult. I hope that most of you can get it right. Chalo ji, playing it now.
Kids spend a lot of time looking at screens, and some parents worry. But a new study argues against the apprehension parents may feel.
The danger is that they're hearing a message that social media, digital technology use is causing very serious and harmful problems like depression, like suicide-related behaviors.
Candace Odgers, professor of psychological science at the University of California, Irvine.
And the idea is that if you shut off social media, which lots of kids use to connect with each other, their friends, find out information about health, you could in fact be making a situation worse. Parents are really being sent a message that is not supported by anything scientifically.
Odgers and her colleagues looked at the screen-related behavior of 400 public school students in North Carolina, ages 10 to 14. The group was picked as a representative sample of race and socioeconomic status for the entire U.S. The researchers found that even not counting time doing schoolwork on screens, kids spent between almost 5 hours to 7 hours per day on their devices, with older kids online the most.
So So last blank is like a candy for you. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm going to stop at blanks, yeah? First blank, tell me. But a new study argues against the apprehension or apprehensions? Apprehension, not apprehensions. So give me the spelling. A double P R E H E S-I-O-N, apprehension, E-N-S-I-O-N, apprehension. Let me write it here. So, first one is apprehension. No, this one is apprehension. Okay, next one. It can cause harmful problems like depression. Batao spelling. D-E-P-R-E double S or single S? Double S. I-O-N. Depression. Next one. So, professor of dash science. Professor of? Professor? O-double-F. Oh, shut off. Oh, professor. If you shut off, O-double-F, yeah. So O-double-F looks okay. Next one. That is not supported by anything that scientifically. Batao spelling. S-C-I-E-N-T-I-F-I-C-A. Singular double L. Double L. This is important. Double L-Y. Scientifically. Okay, next one. The group was picked as a dash sample, as a representative. Batao. Is it this representative or is it this representative? T-A-T-I-V-E. Yeah, so very important. Okay, next one. Oh, this one is given online. Let's come to the last question. Question number 15, everyone. Playing the audio now. Now, before coming to 15, how many of you got all of them right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 minus 1. So 11, one spelling mistake. Okay, guys, you have to take care of your spelling. Aapka writing score is very important here. Now, let's come to question number 15. I'm playing the audio now. Your scores are going towards your writing as well as your listening from this task.
Archaeologists have spent a lot of time analyzing the flashiest objects recovered at ancient sites. But now they're giving a second look at the waste and finding that it too tells tales about a culture. For example, 8,000-year-old poop recently revealed parasitic infections among people who lived in settlements versus their hunter-gatherer counterparts. And now archaeologists have examined another overlooked artifact, small stone flakes, typically thought to be byproducts from the production of tools like hand axes and cleavers.
It was not easy to convince the scientific community that there is value to study these items because they were regarded just as waste.
So it was a previous overview.
That means you should get it right. Tell me, guys, Batao, how many of you are confident that you have made mistakes? A lot of you people are. Okay. Archaeologists have spent a lot of time analyzing the dash objects. Flashy or flashiest? Is it flesh? Flesh, human flesh? Huh? It's not human flesh. It's flash, flashiest, chamakdar, glittery, shiny. F-L-A-S-H-I-E-S-T. Flashiest. Flashy, flashier, flashiest. Yeah, superlative term. F-L-A-S-H-I-E-S-T. Flashiest object. Okay, but now they are giving a second look at the waste and finding that it too tells dash. It too tells. How can we put tells together? This one is not tells. This one is tails. T-A-I-L-S. Yeah. T-A-L-E-S. Tales. Tales mane? Stories. Yeah. So tales. Okay, next one. So T-A-L-E-S. And now archaeologists have examined another overlooked dash. Another overlooked. Oh, एक रह गया बीच में. Recently, 8,000-year-old Pope recently revealed dash infections. Not cytic, cytic. Parasitic. Parasitic. Parasitic infections. So now, okay, people who lived in settlements dash. People who lived in settlements dash their hunter-gatherers. किसी ने नहीं किया है? Don't write VS. It should be versus. VERSUS. Versus their hunter-gatherers. Versus their hunter-gatherers. Yeah. So VERSUS. Versus. And archaeologists have examined another overlooked dash. Artifact. So you're one way ahead. So you missed one blank. That's why you're saying different answer. So artifact. 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 How many words? 2 words or 3 words? 1 word. Yeah. Next one. बताओ मुझे. And typically thought to be byproducts from the production of tools like hands, axes, and dash. Clippers. Clippers. जिसे हम कपड़े सुखाते हैं. No, clippers. Cleavers. 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 Cleavers is like it's like a big knife. I don't know whether you've these two things. So this thing, like this. No, the butcher thing, the big one. So this is called a cleaver. So this one, and this is called like this. No, for the grass. This. Have you seen something like this? Not grass cutter. This is skill. SICKLE. Sickle and cleaver. So cleavers. Last one. Last but one. It was not easy to convince the dash community, the scientific community, not diverse community, scientific community. And the last one, regarded just as waste. Yeah, WAS. Now tell me, how many of you got it right? How many of you just missed one blank? Oh, you got it right, all of them? Oh, wow, well done. Jatinder. Satinder. Oh, sorry. Satinder. Satinder got all of them right. Satinder, आप कहाँ से Punjab से? You from Punjab back home? Which part are you from? Ambala. Haryana. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's come back to to question number 13. Highlight incorrect words, which is the second part. And क्या है? Don't you feel good with these questions? Yeah? Sir, we only feel good if you got it right. Okay, I'll play this again, guys. I'll play this now, and I want you guys to get your pen and paper ready. Is my trick, yeah? You have to be 1 or 2 words ahead of the speaker. So if the speaker is saying all the while, you should be already at she observed. See my point? So all the while, see, all the while she observed. Your eye should be all. If he's saying all the while, you should be on she already. But if you're not sure about one particular word, or whether he said it or whether he didn't say it, don't focus there. Forget it, Maruguli, because you have to follow the trail of the speaker. You'll still be thinking books or bricks, or bricks or books, and then the audio is already over. Okay, guys, so you have to be quick here. I'm playing the audio now, guys.
All the while, she observed the squirrel's behavior. And she noticed that when squirrels heard the reassuring chatter of songbirds following the hawk's scream, they relaxed more readily.
Imagine this. If you're walking in a crowd and everyone seems pretty happy and content and they're chit-chatting with each other, you might even subconsciously take that as information that all of those eyes and ears apparently seem to perceive the environment as being safe. And we think the squirrels might be listening in on bird chatter in the same way.
The details are in the journal PLOS One. And squirrels give back to the community too, with their own alarm calls, which might help other eavesdropping animals. But in busy urban environments, Tarvin says that rich fabric of animal communication risks being drowned out by the loudest animals around, us.
Can you all count your incorrect words? And there was an addition of 2 to 3 words there, which was not there. So you don't have to worry about that. It is something like this. Doesn't happen in exam. Anyone who has crossed 10 words here? 10 incorrect words? 8? 8? 7? Mirza? Huh? 11. Yeah. Do you know there's negative marking here? If you highlight more than the required, you get -1 for that. So if you highlight something that was not supposed to be highlighted, you'll get -1 for that. Sometimes this test, I think they've designed it just for the Desi mentality, you know, because Mirza will highlight everything and then press next. Kahin na kahin to incorrect word hoga hi. You see my point? Just avoid that situation. You know, there is negative marking here. Okay, so let's play this and stop at those incorrect words.
All the while, she observed the squirrel's behavior. And she noticed that when squirrels
And, yeah, so first word is and. Yeah, also, we'll read also here.
heard the reassuring
She heard the reassuring. So, yahan pe kya hai? Hurt and heard. Very close, but yeah, incorrect word.
chatter of songbirds following the hawk's scream,
Following the hawks, scream. And what do we have here? Hawks, scream. Yeah.
they relaxed more readily.
So it's all right. They relaxed more readily. It's okay.
Imagine this: if you're walking in a crowd
If you're walking in a crowd, so if you're working and walking, two different words.
and everyone seems pretty happy and content, and they're chit-chatting with each other, you
Another, yeah, this one is an incorrect word. They are chit-chatting with each other. So another incorrect word.
might even subconsciously take that as information that all of those eyes and ears
Eyes and ears, yeah. So ears and eyes. So both of them are incorrect words here, yeah. So
to perceive the environment as being safe. And we think the squirrels might be listening in on
listening. So yahan pe kya hai? Listing, yeah.
bird chatter in the same way.
In the same way, W-A-Y, yahan pe same wave. So incorrect word.
The details are in the journal +1. And squirrels give back to
+1 should be P-L-U-S, +1. But these words you don't even know whether this is the name of a book. So maybe it's the correct name too. +1. So don't risk it, just move on. Yeah.
to the community too, with their own alarm calls, which might help other eavesdropping animals.
Animals. So yahan pe hai plants.
But in busy urban environments,
Urban. So rural.
Tarvin says that rich fabric of animal
Poor. Yeah. So rich.
communication risks being drowned out.
Yahan pe kya hai? Drawn. So incorrect word.
By the loudest animals around, us.
By the loudest animals around us. Here you've got as. So it's an incorrect word. Okay, guys, now let's come to the okay, number 4, everyone. First one, privilege. How many of you think that D is silent in privilege? Privilege, because spelling, there's no D in privilege. So Privilegee. Privilegee is 100% right. This spelling, privilege, is a we did this, I think, last week we did this, privilege. So a lot of people have this confusion that there is D in privilege. So this D letter doesn't exist. So isko aise hi yaad rakhna hai humne, Privi, privilege. Simple as that. Privilege. Lege, privilege. Okay. Number 2, skillful. Which one? So first one, let's read it. First one says skillful, single L. skillfull. Number 2. Third one, skillfull. Do you know the answer is one of these?
Third.
Where is the answer? Tell me. First one, how many of you think the answer is first one? None of these. How many think the answer is second one? How many think the answer is third one? Well done. The right answer for this one is none of those. They're all wrong. They're all wrong. They're all wrong. The right answer for this one is skill, skillful, F-U-L. Skillful, F-U-L, and that is US spelling. skill, skill, F-U-L, ending with single L, is used in America. This is in American English, skillful. And skill, F-U-L is British English.
اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم. Now, do you remember the link we gave you yesterday? Morning session? Do you remember the morning session? What's the link? Yeah, let's do that. Open the link, please. Okay, are you all there, everyone? Have you got the link open? So can you see the first 30 collocations we did yesterday? Can you see them all? Can you talk, please? Yes, good. Zishan, I think some need help. Aman, तुम कहाँ से आ रहे हो? सब ठीक ठाक है? तुम कब आए थे last? सबसे पहले? 16. Sunshine में? राजवन जी आप कब आए थे? 16, same time. तुम अभी भी आए हो? Then go outside. हाँ अंदर जाओ. Okay, everyone done? Zishan done? If you need help, you can raise your hand. Aman हो गया? नहीं हुआ मतलब क्या है? Phone है? फोन में वाईफाई है, डाटा है, तो क्यों नहीं ऑन हो रहा है? क्लास में क्यों नहीं आते हो अमन? कहाँ पे आते हो? तो मैं फिर मैं नहीं आता। परसों भी तो नहीं आए थे। एक सेशन आया करो फिक्स, अच्छा होता है। Okay, now 31. We'll do roughly about 10 and I'll give you the rest of the 10. You can go through them when you go home. Do you practice them? Do you go through them when you go home, or you just don't bother? You don't do them? Please study them, otherwise there is no point. And it's not easy for us to explain all of them in the class, because it takes time to explain them. Okay, excuse me, now where was I? 31, yeah? Now they're talking about, if you remember, in 1895, in Paris, they attracted people to pay for a movie. Remember, we talked about it yesterday? So this is from the same passage. Yeah, the flashing screen, flickering screen. So there was a flickering screen in those days. Movie, people had no idea about what a movie looks like. So for the first time, they made flickering screens. The images were going one after the other, and people enjoyed it. And then they paid for it. Okay, now that is the same passage this question is about. Okay, now you will tell me the answer. I'm going to give you a fill in the blanks. Yep, done. 31. Tell me the answer, everyone. Tell me the answer. What was Ishan? Microphone. The absence of the human voice and
the absence of the human voice and dash make the films seem rather strange when viewed by a modern audience.
So if we watch them now, we are modern people, yeah? If you watch them now, we would find them really strange, yeah? Strange what? There is no voice, and also there is no what? So think about it. In those days, there was no voice, and also there is no something similar, right? Now, I know that the good thing about this question is that they will give us 5 options, 4 to 5 options. Again, I'll tell you the answer, which will start with D. Think about it. Think about a word which collocates with movie. D से क्या आता है? Movie में direct होता है? Dialogue. Yeah, dialogue. I was thinking, what happened to you? Good, dialogue. DIALOGUE. So the answer is dialogue. Dialogue. Do you know what monologue means? Dialogue is more than one people talking, and monologue is only one person talking. Monologue. Like this is most of the class. Our class is monologue, unfortunately. It's a boring class. Now, when you talk, you smile, you do a little bit of activity, little sound, noise. That's called dialogue, because you're also, you see, when I say you're also, and then I forgot your name, sorry. Shadab, jab bola ke engaging, it means that this is called dialogue. Like at home, you and your wife both decide. One person doesn't decide, yeah? But there is a lot of cultures where only one person still decides, especially in our culture. Husband earns, he decides. Yeah. How about your family in your culture? The same? More or less similar, yeah? Unfortunate, isn't it? Our mothers work so hard, but they don't have much to say, unfortunately. Even if they have, your fathers don't bother. Tu bolte rahe, koi baat nahi hai, but they don't listen, unfortunately. Do you know when they start listening? Do you know when the husbands start listening to their wives? No. Yep, that's true. Especially when the wife starts earning. Fine, yelling. Earning is yelling. That's not a bad point. But when you earn money, your financial independence makes you look different. तुम देखना जब mother-in-law कैसे behave करेंगे, पहले जॉब से पहले अब जॉब के बाद देखना डिफरेंस क्या हो जाता है मे बी तुम्हारे लिए जूस भी बनाएंगे शरबत भी बनाएंगे ना you know money talks money is such a culprit money is terrible Allah maaf kare hey I hate this whole money thing I don't hate money though but the problem with money thing so people change with money and people's perception about you changes with money too. You see that? So I don't have money, you look at me differently. I have money differently. And you are poor, you look at me differently. You are rich, you look at me differently. See that? So 4 angles. Poor, rich, poor, rich, rich. So people have different angles. T.S. Eliot said something beautiful which is called, we make faces to meet faces. We make faces to meet faces. So our face changes according to the other person's status, unfortunately. नेचर तो आजकल होता ही नहीं है स्टेटस के बारे में जिस दिशा तुम्हें लगता है कि इतना रिस्पेक्ट करेगा मुझे जब मैं गरीब हो जाऊंगा तो फिर से I don't think so. I don't believe it. I don't believe Zishan will be the same respectful towards me when I'll be so poor and Allah can do anything. You know that very well. Okay, I wish I could see when I die how we tend to know. We have a little weird what is it called? Wish to know how my wife will behave when I die. Every one of us, like when I die, I want to see what my wife does, but I want to see what she's doing, how she's behaving. I think we have this weird wish that when I'm not around, how Zishan will talk about me. Mandeep ji will behave about me. Nadeem bhai will, talk or I wish. Maybe हम जब अल्लाह अगर हमें सही हाशर होता है हमारा तो इंशाअल्लाह हमें बताएंगे, है ना? अल्लाह ना करे उल्टा सीधा होता तो फिर अल्लाह माफ करे. So anyway, so the point was, the answer is dialogue, not monologue. So monologue means one person talking. Dialogue means more than one people talking. Number 32. Now there is a word called progress. You know progress? What does progress mean? To shine, to prosper, to do well, to thrive, to excel. Prosper, thrive, excel का मतलब ही है progress. Now I need a synonym for this sentence. Tell me. 32. Synonym quickly, guys. Synonym. Whew. So it was to dash in a few years into a world cinema industry. It was to dash. It was to flourish. It was to prosper. It was to thrive. But the word starts with B. Bright. I need a verb. Okay, the second letter is L. B-L. Okay, the third letter is O. Bloom. Good, but it's not bloom. Something similar. Blossom. Smart. I forgot your name. Jayant is very good, isn't she? Blossom. Blossom means prosper. Khilna, बोलते फूल खिले बोलते हैं ना ऐसे blossom. Blossom is used for flower, but blossom also has a rhetoric meaning, like muhabra meaning, and that is like anything can blossom. Like a girl can blossom, even a model can blossom, a business can blossom, your family can blossom. Like you, like we were struggling a lot when we came here, and then our struggle ended, and then we now blossomed, like the way you are going as well. So when you came, struggle, now you're going upwards, aren't you? Or still there? Inshallah, you're going upwards. Don't worry. So we were in your shoes just a few years ago, and we know how struggle looks like. We both, everyone saw the struggle. So don't really lose hope. 2 years from now, you are going to talk to people and give them advice, counsel them Don't worry, everything will be all right. Now you're going through this rough stage. Okay, next one, number answer क्या था? Blossom का spelling double S O M. Now number 33 is now there is a collocation here. So do you want a coffee or a tea or dash? Do you want a coffee or tea or dash? What did you say? Who said something? Water? Okay, water is okay, but I wanted to see if you can say that odd answer. Do you want a coffee or tea or dash? So the third one is nothing else. I can help you with that. This is a collocation. So the third option is not water, juice, or anything else. It's about tea or coffee. Now say it. So do you want a coffee, tea, or dash? Yep, good. I liked it. But something similar. Not neither the same you are, but similar. Now, there's nothing else. Only about coffee and tea. Do you want coffee, tea, or dash? Both. Very good. This is the collocation. Do you want coffee, tea, or both? Do you want, Zishan, do you want iPhone, Pixel 4, iPhone 11, Pixel 4, or none? Zishan will get none. How come you didn't expect me to say something different? You know me so well. You think you don't, yeah? You do, but you still forget it, yeah? So it's okay. Do you know I help you to deal with your wife?
It's a lot.
When you are with me, then I teach you so many skills, unknowingly, without knowing. So the answer, bola answer kya hai? Do you want coffee, tea, or? So somehow you're getting it. You don't look that you're getting it. So this is a collocation. So do you want to take PT, IELTS, or both? This is a collocation. Okay. So the same question came in one of the tests. Let me just give you the exact sentence, which is it number 30? Number 33. Okay, the cheater is taking advantage of a person. So this is a real question, guys, and this is the answer. I made it easy for you, tea, coffee, but this is something similar. You can read.
The cheater is taking advantage. The cheater is taking advantage of a person, a situation, or dash.
Or both. Or it's the real question. Okay. Now, so our time is up. I'm sorry. It's okay. We're going to discuss this in the next session, inshallah. Other teachers, disconnect. Talk to your students. I think it's other teachers के लिए different session, discussion session, right? All right. So 11:30 हम connect कर सकते हैं, right? Good. Now, all right. Now, I'm going to give you the rest of the questions quickly. And this is from 34, yeah, 34 to 50. Please go home and then read them all. And tomorrow, another 50. You can, as you know, that Friday will be closed. But again, there is a possibility I'll take a session in the morning, inshallah, on Friday. So I'll let you know tomorrow. Or maybe tonight I'll post about it. But tomorrow, for sure, I'll let you know. So another 50 collocations tomorrow. And can you check if you've got it? I just pasted it. Can you say it? Oh, yeah, good. So, good job. I'll see you tomorrow. Allah Hafiz. Thank you very much.
Guys, can you all correct the spelling of number 3? Both the spellings are wrong. Vacuum. The right spelling. Can you please write the right spelling for this one? VACWM. VACUUM. So vacuum में W single C. Number 4, Professor. There's no double F. It is PRO single FE double SOR. Single F double S. Last one. Last two are wrong. 12th, both of them are wrong. The first one is right. TWELFTH. TWELFTH. First one is right. 12th. Thank you very much.